this game was meant to be. I used a line this week I've never used in my life, but since our basketball team had beaten the #1, our baseball team had done it, I said, fellas, if fate means for us to win this game Saturday, let's give it a chance. Let's give fate a chance to happen. And so our guys played their hearts out, a lot of outstanding individual plays, and we held on, got a few breaks here and there, but that's the best our offense has played ever since I've been here, without a doubt. Scored 5 touchdowns out of about 8 real possessions, 7 or 8, something like that, was the best we played. Steven Garcia played the best he's ever played. Alshon, he's something else. And all the guys, though, all the guys were very good. 6 of 11 third downs again. Yeah, we had some good time-consuming drives, and I think it was just meant to be. Fate was on our side to be the #1 in all 3 major sports in 2010. So it was a good win for us. Hopefully we can get ready for Kentucky next week, Vandy, Tennessee, and on down the line, and try to improve on this. Hopefully we don't go around and brag and talk about this game too much longer after tomorrow, and we can get ready for our next game against Kentucky. But it's an interesting game, very interesting game. Fast game as far as not a lot of change of possessions and so forth. Had a few different plays here and there, but really proud of our guys. Proud of offensive line, played dang well, very well for our guys, our team. So it was just a super team effort, and we'll take it and try to move on to the next one.
Appreciate your answer. Good question.
Okay.
Right here, Drew.
So how big was it to get up on top of them as quick as you did first?
Well, I think they scored first. They only had to kick a field goal, though. And then I think we scored our next 3 possessions. And then really only had one more, I think, that we sort of messed up there in the first half. We had the holding penalty. That's what it was. So it was a slow game. Alabama, they stayed on the field a lot until we stayed on the field a lot there in the second half. But anyway, it was just a super game. Our defensive kids played their hearts out. Alabama's a big, strong team, as you can see. But we threw and caught. Stephen was 17 out of 20. How about that against #1 defense in about every category? I don't know how many categories, but to score 35 on them and not have to kick a field goal, that's probably what we're most proud of. Because if you can score touchdowns on your chances, it's usually hard to lose. And we were able to do that today.
David.
Steve, were you surprised that they seemed to be kind of staying away from the run early on? It looked like it was all McElroy on that first drive.
You'll have to ask them all about that. But it was good to get ahead a little bit and let them start throwing the ball. Yeah, that was probably to our advantage. Although they hit one long pass there, we sort of messed up a coverage there. But anyway, you got to ask those guys about that.
Steve, did you see anything in the last 2 weeks to make you believe this was coming or possible?
Playing at home, we've been pretty good in this all garnet jerseys. Playing at home, we've been pretty good lately. And if we could just not beat ourselves and tackle a little bit better. I think our guys tackled a lot better today. Then we've got a pretty good team. And Stephen took care of the ball. Except had that one crazy play. He said he thought he had a guy right on his back, and I said, well, Stephen, it's a safety either way. If you go down with it or whatever, it's still a safety. I don't think he quite knew that. But anyway, that was by far, that was Stephen's best game. That was his best game that he's played here at South Carolina.
Coach, you just led your team to probably one of the biggest victories in the history of this football program in your career. I mean, are your toes tingling? Are you excited right now?
Well, it was nice. It's nice to be the #1 team. There's no question about that. It's nice for the University of South Carolina, for our football program. It's nice for all these recruits that came here and watched today and said, dang, these South Carolina guys can play some ball. And we did. We played some ball today. We didn't give a bunch of fumble returns or block punts. We didn't do any of that. We had to play ball today. Played to the end and looked up, and we'd beaten the #1 by a couple of touchdowns. So hopefully it will be something we can build on. But again, if we go up to Kentucky and go to Vandy and get beat, we'll look back and say, man, that was a lot of fun that one night we had in Columbia. So we got to build on it. We really do. We have to build on it. We're not a great team that we just show up and play. We got to play a lot of fire and effort and smarts if we do that, then obviously we're a pretty good team.
Dennis?
Coach, talk about how you're, after the start of the second half with the safety and then they kicked the field goal, the way your offense came back and put together that long drive and
Well, that was a
got
good one.
momentum.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then, of course, they scored quickly. They hit that touchdown right, I think, first play of the fourth quarter, second play, something like that. So it's a 7-point game with all kind of time left. So it was anybody's game at that point. And fortunately, Alshon, we made another little drive there. Alshon caught the fade route, took it down the 6-yard line, and in 3 runs, we got it in there with Marcus and the offensive line. So, I mean, that was something we couldn't do since I've been here to this year, to run the ball in the end zone from the 3-yard line against Alabama. And in fact, I don't know if we could ever do that when I was coaching in Florida, from the 3-yard line straight in. That's hard to do. But Coach Elliott had a lot of confidence in those guys. He said, run it. He sometimes looks at the defense in front, and he'll get us to change it or whatever. He said, go ahead and run it. And our guys blocked it super, and Marcus has a way of knifing in between guys, and got that last TD in there.
How big was it to have the off week, just to mentally get to regroup and come back and get ready for a game like this?
I don't know. We got it out of our system. We had a little powwow talk that if we're going to have a big year, we can't play like we did at Auburn. We're careless. We didn't tackle well. Just didn't play very well, even though we had a lead in the fourth quarter. So anyway, I think our guys sort of got together a little bit and said, "Hey, let's give more effort and see what happens." But that was our rallying cry. Let's give fate a chance. If fate's going to smile on South Carolina, we got to give it a chance. And who knows? If you give it a chance, something big may happen. Or if we don't give it a chance, it's not going to happen. So we're going to try to see if we can build on this victory.
Coach, after not getting Marcus involved a lot against Auburn, you came out today and got him really going early. How big was that?
Well, we were trying to throw him a few here and there. We thought those little short passes, this, that, and the other, was a good way to attack them, and then run our runs. It was just our basic runs, and we were able to pop a few out there. So we wanted to mix it up. Let's see, we only threw 20 and ran 37. I thought we were throwing about every down, but yeah, that's pretty good balance, though. Ron Morris likes that. I know that. He took the victories, doesn't he? Yeah. But you got to gain yards when you run. He thinks you can run, not gain yards. But you got to gain yards. No, I'm just kidding.
Steve, what's it like to have a guy like Alshon that you can just throw it up there and get big gains like that?
Yeah, that's a guy you got to keep throwing at. And we ran that little under route that guy hit him 3rd and 10, I think it was, hit him at about 5 or 6 and carried him 4 yards for that first down that led to the score at the right at the end of the 3rd quarter. When you get it to a guy, he can fall forward for 3-4 yards. You just got to keep getting him the ball. So certainly that was in our plans. The one he really just sort of dropped it, and that guy came by and made a diving interception. And fortunately, our defense they tried to fake field goal on that one, but that was one that just got away. That was an excellent pass by Steven. Threw it high and outside, and Alshon was really a little mad at himself with that one. That was one he should have had. But anyway, it came back, didn't hurt us. But Alshon's a tremendous player. And it's always neat to see a guy like Alshon have success, Stephon Gilmore and all these guys. That, they could have gone anywhere in the country. They chose to come here and play in their home state university. So hopefully a lot of other home state kids will want to participate in this atmosphere we have here at Williams-Brice. Fans were sensational today. National TV, it had to be one of the best days for our university ever, I would guess. And the fans certainly were a big part of this victory today.
Steve, it looked like Marcus cracked up his left hand a little in the 3rd quarter. Obviously, he went back in, but what did he do?
Yeah, one time the trainer said he was out. He, I don't know, he did something and his hand went numb a minute. I think he landed on his elbow, and I think that's what it was. Just the funny bone you hit on the elbow. And but he was okay moments later, so he was fine.
Good.